I think one of the things that's really important for us to understand is we read these amazing Bible stories, but unless we interpret them into something practical and meaningful for our life, it might be a nice little buzz for the moment, but what does it really do for us? And when we really find out what it does for us, then the impact is tremendous. And I think such an example is, I'd like to take a minute here to address this, is what was or is the original sin? So if you look at the storyline itself is really kind of bizarre. I mean, hello? You got Adam and Eve, they're in Hotel Garden of Eden. The maitre d', Vinny, right, with the greased back hair, is a snake up on two legs with his little white towel says G-E, Garden Eden, right? And everything's going on along here. And he hustles, seduces Eve into eating this apple, and she manages to get Adam to eat this as well. And then all of a sudden, God shows up and says, as we say in Hebrew, "Que pasa, Señor?" Right? What are you doing here? Now, just stop here for a minute. Hello? God is showing up. Where was God? Doing shuffleboard in the Fontainebleau? I mean, all of a sudden, like a little beeper goes off for God and says, "Whoa, trouble in the Garden of Eden." And God comes flying down, throws Adam up against the wall, frisks him, and finds a half-eaten apple core. I mean, what is this? It's really bizarre. Isn't God everywhere, who knows everything at all times? So, more than that, Adam is now playing cards with God. He's holding up his cards here and decides to throw down the problem chick card. He says, "Yo, it wasn't me, God. It was her. You introduced me to her. I assumed she was from a nice Jewish home, and how would I know my first day back from work she's feeding me trafe, non-schmeat-the-dick apples? What's going on here?" So, and then of course, God turns to Eve, and Eve throws the snake card. Wasn't me. It was Vinny. He conned me into all of this, which was going on. So the question is, what is really going on? So one understanding, which is something that's really important for us as well, is called standing up and taking responsibility. When God said to Adam, "What have you done?" God knew what he did. That wasn't really the question. What he was really saying is, Adam, are you able to do soul searching? Are you able to take responsibility for your own actions? And regardless of maybe somebody else might be at fault, doesn't matter. Nobody's 100% at fault. In fact, we know this in the great court called the Sanhedrin. If there was a death case that was up where the punishment was going to be death, and the court voted 100% in his favor, against him, yeah, this guy's bad news, kill him, guess what? He goes free. Why? Because there's no such thing. If only one person were to say, whoa, 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 let's not kill this guy, then he gets killed. But if everybody says unanimously, it means we didn't look deep enough. So when we have things that happen in our own lives and we're quick to blame others, we might be right. They may be wrong. In fact, if we were to go to a court or a rabbi or so on, they may say that that person's wrong. But that's insignificant. What's significant is, even if it's only 1%, which probably might not be, but if it is, what did I do wrong? Because by my taking responsibility for what it was all about, that's something tangible that I can grow from. And that was Adam's sin. Adam's sin, in a word, chutzpah. Instead of taking the responsibility, saying, I'm the head of this household, whatever goes down, the buck stops here, he passed the buck. And that was the same problem with her. Instead of taking that responsibility and so on, she passed the buck. And the irony, why didn't God ask the snake? And we'll end on this, right? The Gemara says, because the snake had a good answer. Adam and Eve didn't have good answers, but the snake did, because the snake could have said, as we use in the Talmud often, what do you do if your rabbi tells you to do something and the rabbi's student tells you to do something? Who do you listen to, right? God, you're the rabbi, you said don't eat it. I'm only the student who said eat it. She should have never listened to me. But we do need to listen to ourselves and find out what is in us that makes things go wrong, heal it, fix it, and bring on a better day.